Hi, it's Lynn, and welcome to my backyard. In my backyard, I'm still in the middle of construction on the Aquapond. That's the mix of an aquaponics system, which if you look at those black tanks, that's where the aquaponics portion will be, and the rest is the pond, the water, and this long elongated portion of a trough is where the bog work will happen. I actually pumped water out of the pond with the pump. I connected PVC pipe and just ran it out into the yard. And at the end of the PVC pipe, I used the T system, just playing around with it, practicing, trying to understand the pressure of the pump that I bought. There were 2 ends for water with spigots, and also 1 spigot that was open. But the pressure was so great out of the 3rd open hole that I realized I have enough pressure from this to actually still do the bog portion, the traditional system of an active bog. Forcing the water through the pipe at the bottom, underneath the peat rock, up through the roots of aquatic plants, and back into the pond. So I think now I am going to formally use the active bog as well as the aquaponics portion. So this morning, I'm going to go back to actually working with those bricks. I'm excited because I got a load of bricks delivered to the house. And I can actually work with inlaying the bricks around for the aesthetic portion. I have to admit, I'm kind of at a standstill. I don't really know what to do. It's not that I don't know what to do, it's, I guess, to be quite honest, fear, because I don't want to mess it up. It's a lot of work, and I've already pumped water out of the pond in order to readjust the liner. And having to go back and doing something over and over and over, it's a little frustrating, it's a little intimidating, but I think in the end, it'll make a great product, right? What do they say? Practice makes perfect, but hurts along the way. Yeah. I actually laid some stone down. I included purposefully a shelf inside the pond. 1 for aesthetics. I don't know if it'll look that great. We'll see. 2 for in order to provide a shelf to place some plants. So let's take a look at that. Because the yard is sloped, running away from the house to the back of the yard, for every house does that, right? For movement of water. The side of the pond here, that's closest to the house, is much higher than this side of the pond. It's kind of hard to tell right now because I had this brilliant idea of putting some of the dirt that I was digging out of the hole and banking it up around. And that's kind of proving to be problematic. But now that I'm ready to put the stone in, I'm trying to figure out how how tall should the pond be, and should it be equal all the way around? I've taken dirt out around most of, let's see, most of this, backwards on the camera, most of this side, around there. I've taken out what I banked up. Now I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have taken it out, I don't know. But I think what I'm gonna do is measure at this tip right here. That's about 3 inches from where the water level is right now to the top. So that would give at least a 3-inch rain fluctuation. And I know that summer is like basically here. We just passed the summer solstice, and maybe about a week ago. And so it gets hot here and water evaporates very quickly. So I think 3 inches is going to be a good, so I think 3 inches is going to be a pretty good mark for the, like, my goal target water level. I think I'm gonna start on this side. I keep going back and forth. Which side should I start on? And then there's all these issues and height, banking, not banking, banking up the dirt. Don't bank up the dirt. Yes, bank up the dirt. No, that's a stupid idea, but cut into the ground. I might start on this side. Let's see. Okay, this is what I'm working toward. This is the goal. I'm now digging down into the water level so that the brick, this is not like what it will look like in the end, the final. But the goal is that this brick is going to be actually underneath the water level. So I need to dig this down a little more. And I'll just be able to play with 1 brick, 2 bricks to mortar it in. To piece it in, jigsaw it in, and make sure it fits right with this. This is going to be a landing so it can stand on top. I didn't want to use mortar, but I see that I'm going to actually have to mortar it in. So more work, yay! But I think in the end it will look good. Another issue is because I've got this lumpy clay soil and it is very dry, definitely under this tarp, under the liner, it's very, very dry. So when I filled in the waterfall area, I cut it way back, but I filled it in. And when I filled it in, like I had this cut way back to like over there, like way in there, and I think it was too much. When I put the stone down for the waterfall, I have two over there, different color choices. It would have eroded the integrity because there would have been no foundation. So I filled it back in. And when I filled it in, I used a cereal box. I'm not promoting for any particular cereal, but I used that to hold the dirt in. So that now I have like a wall of dirt here, and it will go around like it was originally before I decided to do that really interesting thing by cutting away too much dirt. So now it's filled back in. So I'm gonna cut a shelf. Oh, let me just, well, I'm out here walking in this mucky water. Well, it's really not that dirty, but let me, I'm gonna flip this back over and move it. Crap. You can see that I've dug out just the sample space right here. More work. Yay, me. But it's gonna be worth it in the end, right? Yep. Okay. Afterthought. Before I put the liner in and filled it up with water, I should have carved this, I don't want to call it a shelf because it's not really a shelf. It's where the rocks are going to be under the water, and the liner goes from the pond water under the rock, up the side, into ground level. I should have done that before I put the liner in. So, tip, do that before you put the liner in. I tested a spot, and I couldn't figure out how to get the level, how to know where the water level would be all the way around the pond. And I'm thankful to have a husband who is in construction and architecture and development and is quite creative. And through a long conversation, I'll just cut to the point. I decided to cut several tests all the way around the pond. I did that so that I could see where the, basically about 1 inch under the water level is all the way around the pond. Now I'm going to pump water out of the pond so that I don't have to worry about the water leaking out of the pond, because the brick level, the ledge, I guess, it's not really a ledge, border, for the brick border, that water level is above that height. So if I'm not careful, the water just runs all out the pond and all over the place. So I'm gonna pump it out again, at least to a depth where I can roll up the liner and keep working and work a little faster, because this is taking a really long time trying not to let the water run out of the pond. The pump is down at the bottom. It is pumping water up at a 90-degree angle, which is not a good thing. But this is just for me to take some of the water out of the pond. And look here. Okay. water is coming out over here quite a bit with a lot of force. I mean, I can shoot this places, right? I can, like, it's pretty good force. And with my homemade tea, I have water coming out here and water coming out here. These valves are so that I can adjust the water flow. Like, I can turn it off, which increases the pressure there. Or I can turn it all the way on. Which way's on? And I get a lot of pressure here, none there, a little bit there. And I'm sorry for the quality of this video shakiness, because I just cut myself, so it hurts a lot. Anyway. I just need the water to come out enough so that I don't lose it in these. My hand hurts. So I don't lose it here. Okay, I'm gonna go take care of my cut.